Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Star Key Forum System. My name is Samantha, and I want to have this conversation with you. So I was curious, why is President Trump allowing the Real ID to push forward May 7th, 2025? In other words, you have to have a Real ID to fly in the skies. And I'm like, that just seems kind of overkill, right? Like, if that is something that was instigated from George Bush Jr. way back when, but then pushed through by President Biden, why is President Trump allowing it to stand? This is why. This is why reading through boring documents is so important for American people. Because here it is. The Real ID Act actually gives President Trump permission to go ahead and finish the border wall in California, even though there are EPA rules against not putting the fence in specific areas. They don't want to hurt the environment. They don't want to this. The Real Act is an actual document that's more than just an ID. It gives the president specific powers. And this is one that President Trump is definitely going to use. He's going to be able to finally finish the border wall all the way across California due to the Real ID Act of 2005. Sometimes, like you guys, I'm just like, why are we allowing certain things to happen? Then I ran across this.
In camps, on military bases, a private fleet of planes, and even a small army of citizens to make arrests. This would mean deporting 500,000 people a month. That's a 600% increase from current levels. If that sounds illegal and dystopian, that's because it is. But they're trying to make it happen anyway. And guess who profits? Private contractors. The same people who cashed in on war now want to cash in on deportations. This isn't just cruel, it's dangerous. We know what happens when governments start rounding people up and putting them in camps. This needs to be called out now.
So it looks like Congress is working on a $45 billion deportation bill to be spent over the next 2 years to deport illegal aliens out of America. Now, they are claiming that they're working on the violent ones. But I think people know a lot of people are going to be grabbed in this deportation. Having said that, nobody that watches me likes BLACKROCK. The CEO of BLACKROCK has decided he wants to partner with the Trump administration to deport these illegal aliens. Now, this is what he is suggesting. He is suggesting making some of the prisons U.S. territory in El Salvador so that when they deport these illegals to those prisons, they're not technically outside of the United States. That's a great idea on the workaround where we're running into these liberal judges who are like, oh, you can't remove them from the United States. Technically, legally, they would not be removing them. But here is my concern. Though, like every one of you, I want to see every illegal alien out of my country. I just think it would make our economy stronger, would make our streets safer, and it would open up opportunities for Americans. I do worry when we hire non-governmental agencies, NGOs, to handle this type of stuff, that fraud, waste, and abuse is going to happen, but also the overlooking of the care of humans. I don't hate illegal aliens. They are just human. What I hate is that they broke our laws to get here. What I hate is that they're a burden to the system. What I hate is that my children and yours are having opportunities and debt added to them, opportunities removed and debt added. That is what I don't like. As for the illegals themselves, I have nothing against them other than you started your life in America by literally breaking the rules. And I just can't respect that. I can't imagine that I would travel across multiple countries to get to a specific destination. And then when I got there, expect that I would be taken care of. I can't imagine in this economy in America that I would have $17,000 to pay a smuggler to get me into another country illegally. They can get there and expect something for getting there, if you get my drift, you know what I'm saying? So what is happening in Mexico right now? The Venezuelans are angry and they want somebody to pay for them a flight home. You heard me right. I mean, the audacity that you traveled all through these countries to get to America, you can't get in, and now you're angry and want someone to send you home for free. That is the mindset of the immigrants coming to America right now. We want everything for free. I think America has enough of that. Now, guys, if you didn't know, YouTube demonetized my channel for discussions like this. They don't want them to happen. They thought they could shut me up. So if you'd like to sow into this ministry and this channel, if you'll look in the top of comments, there are 4 ways you could do that. Anything at all would be appreciative, because right now we have these gifts and goes and GoFundMes that are just mind-blowing. So this is the story. I'm going to tell you guys a story. Y'all know I'm going to tell you a story of a woman whose fiance was a rapper and his daughter, she was 5, were killed in a drive-by shooting. And she did what everybody does in this day and age, GoFundMe. This is her after she receives her money.
Yeah. Yeah, security out there. Yeah.
That's actually money.
The GoFundMe money won't last forever. The mother of the 5-year-old that was killed with the father at the car wash. This woman lost her husband or baby daddy. She lost her baby daddy.
And I think that's what's burning people out. That is burning people out. We give money because we have big hearts. We see people in need. We're like, I can send $1. I can send 10. That begins to add up. Think about if 10,000 people on this channel sent $1, it's $10,000. You get my drift. And then we see clips of people doing that. Partying with a big stack of money on your shoulder. You don't look like a grieving mother to the ones of us who sent you money. You don't look like somebody that's appreciative of what we worked for and sent you to alleviate your pain. In fact, you don't look like you're in pain, friend.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I grieve a little different, y'all. Y'all took my baby, but I'm not motherfucking tripping on that shit, bitch. Bitch, he give them and he take them. Bitch, we all gotta die around this bitch.
I don't know what to say. I couldn't even clip it because every other word was a curse word. That's the mother. Yeah. I don't know, folks. You guys tell me. I know that this world needs Jesus. Speaking of Jesus, Sam has to go get ready for church. Love you guys with all my heart. Like, comment, subscribe, and remember, I'm done tiptoeing around these topics, folks. They have to be discussed. They have to be. And if not me, who? If not you, who? Because these are people in America with an expectation that your children are just gonna what? Be murdered in the streets? That somehow is okay? Oh, that's a worm. I thought it was a snake. Speaking of snake, before I go, let me show you what the dog pulled out of the pond last night. Yep, that's a snake skin. Welcome to my world, folks.
Muslim Heritage Month is a great opportunity to recognise the immense contributions Muslims have made and continue to make to British society. I want to thank the Muslim Women's Network UK for leading on this important work. Muslims have been a part of Britain for centuries, from the early sailors and traders of Assam, Bengal and Yemen to the growing port cities communities of East London, Liverpool and South Shields in the early 20th century. In both world wars, thousands of brave volunteers from pre-partition India, the Middle East and North Africa fought and died for Britain, for our freedom. They will continue to shape our shared future, educating children, driving innovation, excelling in medicine, in law, sport, public service, media, the arts, while strengthening communities in the process. This month, let us celebrate our nation's diversity and champion the invaluable contributions of British Muslims to national life.